Hello everyone, this is Dr. Sabah Fatima, Consultant Obstetrician and Gynecologist at HRBR Motherhood Hospital, Bangalore. Induction of labor is defined as mimicking the natural uterine contraction artificially before the onset of labor in order to achieve a vaginal birth. There are many reasons why do we have to induce labor before the natural labor starts. They have been divided briefly into two categories, maternal and fetal indication. The most common reasons which are seen in the day-to-day practice is increase in blood pressure in the mother, that is called preeclampsia, gestational diabetes, controlled or uncontrolled, type 2 diabetes on insulin, increase in the amniotic fluid or reduce in the amniotic fluid called oligohydramnios, preterm rupture of membranes or leaking of amniotic fluid but the labor has not started, pregnancy has crossed term beyond 40 weeks and the labor has not started and on its own, or even post-term babies. And there is one more condition where it is called planned induction, which is done at a request of the mother if she stays far away from the hospital or if there is a particular time where they want to deliver on a particular date. Now coming to the methods of induction, there are different types, mechanical methods and the chemical or the drugs. Mechanical methods are of two types. One is membrane sweeping, where the membranes which are present around the baby's head are swept consecutively during pregnancy in the last week so that the natural labor starts on its own. And there is the other mechanical method which is called artificially rupturing the amniotic sac so the labor starts endogenously. Now coming to the drugs which are used in induction of labor, they are of different types, belonging to prostaglandin categories and the oxytocin. They are available in different forms in terms of tablets, vaginal pessaries, the vaginal gel, or even in terms of IV drip or oxytocin. Now coming to the risk and the benefit of induction of labor. Definitely the benefits outweighs the risk. The risk most importantly which are seen in induction of labor, the first common reason is the failed induction where your body, the cervix, fails to respond to the method. And out of this 20% will go into emergency cesarean section. The second risk is fetal heart rate variation where the baby is not able to handle the stress of labor. The third is hemorrhage or increase in blood loss because of induction of labor. The fourth one is uterine infections in the mother, and the most important is uterine rupture in case where induction is tried on a scarred uterus. Now the success rate is almost 50 to 70% of the patients deliver normally vaginally. Out of this 15% may require instrumental deliveries, only 20% will go for emergency cesarean section. One more thing I want to highlight is always induction of labor, the contractions are going to be very intense and very strong and sometimes they are very painful, but yes, we do have all sorts of analgesias available in terms of IV and even epidurals so that labor is made comfortable. Prior consent is mandatory where you give a written permission to your consultant to induce labor. Generally, the duration of induction of labor goes on from 2 hours to even 2 to 3 days depending on your body's response. But ultimately, end of the day or by end of 2 days, the decision will be taken by your consultant depending on the response of the body and also the response of the baby. The take-home message today about induction of labor is 1. Trust your doctor. Believe in the indication or see the complications what you are facing in the pregnancy. Have faith in God and then go ahead with induction. Induction is not cesarean section. Induction is trying to mimic natural labor when the labor has not started on its own in your body. Thank you.